Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the channel today. Today we're going to talk about Stank Stick, Stank Sauce, and Stank Stick. It is King Stank Stick and King Stank Sauce. I want to talk about that and why I use it, when I use it, and I pretty much use it all the time. And exactly why I use that. But if you guys would, before I get into the video here, if you guys would just go down at the bottom of the screen there and hit like. If you guys would, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber yet. I'm starting to get some more views on my stuff and starting to really learn what everybody's looking for. So I kind of know I've got some information out there that people's liking to see and paying attention a lot more to. So let's get into it here. King's Stank Stick and King Stank Sauce is a newer product of King Stank Stick. What it is basically right here, it is a lure attractant is what it is. Right there is the stank sauce, which is what I prefer myself. Some people like the stank stick, and basically what it is this, except it's in like a deodorant stick. I don't have any of those to show you at the current time. But I use this because it helps the fish hang on longer. And it gets more bites. Let's say there's a day when you're out there, which I put it on anytime I'm out on the water, it doesn't matter when, but let's say there's a day, I know you guys have all had them, where the fish will bite it, but it won't get it good and you'll miss it. You won't get a good hook set on them because they're just grabbing the end of it. Or they're coming up and they're hitting it and then just leaving it alone. Okay, so that is where the fish attractant comes in. That is where the King Stank Sauce or Stank Stick comes in. This right here, I got two of them I'm going to show you, are two of my favorites. And I just ran out of the garlic, so I don't have it. But what I like to do is crawfish right there. Say I'm throwing a jig, for example, or a Texas rig that's resembling a crawl. I like to put crawfish on it. Anytime I'm imitating anything, a crawfish. A crankbait works good too when you're imitating the crawfish anyway, not a shad. Let's say your rock crawlers, wiggle warts, things of that nature. Put that crawfish stank sauce on there. I do like to get the garlic as well. I actually learned that from another pro staffer of King Stank Sauce and King Stank Stick. Another pro staffer told me he likes to mix the garlic and mix the two together, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So I started trying that and really started getting more bites doing that because it gives it that garlic scent that's in a lot of baits. So that one there is the crawfish, and that's about the only two I really throw other than mixing the garlic with it, and then I will throw the shad. So it just depends on what I'm really trying to imitate. Nightcrawler is another one that I use every once in a while. But usually if I'm throwing a worm, I'm usually trying to imitate a shad. Is usually what I'm imitating with the worm. Don't matter what color worm I'm throwing. Usually that is some kind of shad imitation is what that is. 10-inch worms, 7-inch worms. Big hammer ringer worm, it works killer on here in southeast Kansas anyway. I've won a lot of money on that pit. Actually, I've won a lot of tournaments here in the past, I think 4 or 5 tournaments here in the past 2 years on the big hammer ringer worm. You can find that video on the big hammer ringer worm on my channel. Just look up the ringer worm and you will find it on there. So that's exactly why I use the King Stank Sauce and Stank Stick. So if you guys need to get you some, just right here, go to stankstick.com. You can look that up. They come in these little bottles right here, which is real handy. You can keep them in your boat. They're not nothing big and bulky, same way with the Stank Stick. You can put them in plastic bags, keep them away from everything. They seal up real good. They don't pop open easy, so you won't have a mess all over your boat. And just put a little bit on your bait. You can smell it on there. You know when it's off. It lasts a long time. I usually only put it on, say, a jig. If I'm throwing a jig, I usually only put it on the jig about once a day unless the trailer comes off. If the trailer comes off, I'll put more on the trailer. A crankbait, I put it on 2 or 3 times a day, just depending on how much I'm throwing that crankbait. If I'm cranking all day long, I'll keep it on that crankbait all day long. And then let's say you're doing the crawfish or the shad on just a plastic, say like a 7-inch worm, 10-inch worm, big hammer ringer worm. You'll put that on pretty much anytime you change that bait. So unless you're throwing that bait all day long and then, you can smell that smell's coming off of there, then just put that on there and that should help you guys get more bites. It'll help you get those bites that you wasn't getting before. Like I said, those ones that you were missing and the ones that were just coming up and hitting it or the ones that were short striking it. You'll start catching those fish. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Go pick you up some Stank Stick or Stank Sauce. I prefer the Stank Sauce, but whichever one you guys prefer, go check it out. Thank you.